For years, the relationship between Prince Harry and the royal family has been defined by distance, controversy, and unresolved tension. Since stepping back from royal duties in 2020 and relocating to California with Meghan Markle, Harry has remained largely estranged from his brother, Prince William, and his father, King Charles III. His interviews, memoir, and Netflix series have painted a picture of deep-seated grievances, making any potential reconciliation seem increasingly unlikely. However, recent developments, most notably the royal family publicly acknowledging his 40th birthday, have sparked speculation that the door to reunion may not be completely closed. The public birthday message, coming from King Charles William and Kate Middleton, was the first direct gesture toward Harry in years. While seemingly small, such acknowledgments hold significance within the royal institution, where even the simplest statements are carefully considered. The gesture led many royal watchers to wonder whether this was a sign of shifting attitudes, an unspoken olive branch extended in hopes of reopening communication. Given the long history of tension, it is unlikely that this act alone signals a full resolution, but it does hint at the possibility of a more open dialogue between Harry and his family. One major factor fueling reconciliation rumors is King Charles III's approach to modernizing the monarchy. Unlike Queen Elizabeth II, who prioritized stability above all else, Charles has shown a willingness to make adjustments, including repairing fractured relationships where possible. As the head of the family, his position on Harry's estrangement plays a crucial role in whether meaningful steps can be taken to mend the divide. Some reports suggest that Charles, despite his frustration with Harry's past revelations, still wants to maintain a connection with his youngest son. However, his patience may be limited, particularly if Harry continues to publicly challenge the monarchy's inner workings. Prince William's stance remains more ambiguous. The future king has kept his personal feelings largely private, refusing to publicly engage in the disputes aired by his brother. However, sources close to the palace suggest that William has been deeply affected by the breakdown of their bond, feeling a mix of betrayal and disappointment. Reconciliation between the brothers would likely require significant effort from both sides, particularly as William balances his increasing royal responsibilities with raising his young family. Whether he is willing, or even able to fully embrace Harry again, remains an open question. Harry himself has sent mixed signals about his willingness to reconcile. While he has spoken openly about the pain he associates with his royal upbringing, he has also expressed a desire to mend certain relationships, particularly with his father. In past interviews, he has acknowledged the difficulties of royal life and suggested that changes to the institution could make things better for future generations. However, his willingness to engage in such discussions is complicated by the very public nature of his grievances, which the royal family traditionally prefers to handle privately. The key challenge in any potential reconciliation is trust. Years of public revelations have damaged the confidence between Harry and the rest of the royal family, making it difficult for them to engage without fear of further leaks or controversy. Any progress would require private, honest conversations, something that has reportedly been attempted in the past but often derailed by misunderstandings or external pressures. Additionally, Meghan Markle's role in any reconciliation remains uncertain. Her own experiences with the royal family have been fraught with conflict, and her perspective on whether a renewed relationship would be beneficial for Harry and their children may influence his decisions. Ultimately, while the recent birthday gesture offers a glimmer of hope, true reconciliation would require more than symbolic acknowledgments. If both sides are willing to engage in meaningful discussions and find common ground, there is potential for progress. However, the deep wounds of the past, coupled with ongoing public scrutiny, make the road ahead uncertain. Whether this moment marks the beginning of a healing process or simply a temporary gesture of civility remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: the world will be watching closely. Princess Anne has long been regarded as one of the most steadfast and duty-focused members of the British royal family. Unlike her younger relatives, she has rarely been the subject of media scandals or personal drama, instead carving out a reputation for hard work, dedication, and unwavering loyalty to the monarchy. Given her no-nonsense approach to royal life, it was unexpected when reports surfaced suggesting that she had taken on a behind-the-scenes role in mediating the ongoing tensions between Prince Harry and Prince William. Her decision to step into this deeply fractured relationship has raised questions about why she chose this moment to intervene and what her involvement could mean for the future of the monarchy. For years, Anne has been known as someone who avoids unnecessary attention, preferring to focus on her royal engagements rather than personal disputes. However, her unique position within the family has made her a rare figure who maintains respect from both sides of the feud. Unlike King Charles, who has struggled to balance his love for Harry with his responsibilities as sovereign, or William, who has been directly affected by his brother's public criticisms. Anne has remained relatively neutral. While she has traditionally been closer to William due to their shared sense of duty, she has never openly criticized Harry for his decisions. This neutrality may have made her the only royal capable of bringing the brothers to the table. Her involvement reportedly began as the tensions within the family reached a critical point. As King Charles seeks to modernize the monarchy and strengthen its public image, the ongoing estrangement between his sons has become an increasingly visible issue. Anne, recognizing that these tensions could weaken the institution's stability, is believed to have urged both William and Harry to set aside their grievances for the greater good of the monarchy. Her argument, according to insiders, is not just about personal reconciliation, but about ensuring that the royal family does not appear permanently divided at a time when public trust is already fragile. One of the key moments in her mediation efforts was reportedly suggesting that Harry and William meet in private, away from the media and royal advisors. Unlike past attempts at reconciliation, which were often overshadowed by leaks and speculation, Anne is said to have insisted on a setting where both could speak honestly without fear of their words being misrepresented. Her direct and pragmatic nature likely played a role in convincing them to at least consider this possibility. Given that both brothers have shown skepticism about the intentions of others within the royal family, Anne's presence as a mediator may provide the reassurance needed to engage in meaningful discussions. What makes Anne's role particularly intriguing is that she has historically been one of the least involved royals when it comes to family disputes. While other members, including Queen Elizabeth II and King Charles, have attempted to address the situation in the past, Anne's entrance into the matter signals that the issue has reached a point where even the most reserved figures in the family feel compelled to act. Her approach, direct, no-nonsense, and rooted in her deep understanding of royal duty, suggests that she is not merely trying to patch things up for sentimental reasons, but rather working to secure the monarchy's long-term stability. However, her efforts are not without challenges. William and Harry's relationship is more fractured than ever, and even Anne's influence may not be enough to fully repair the damage done over years of public conflict. Harry's deep-seated resentment toward the institution, coupled with William's frustration over his brother's repeated disclosures, means that any mediation will require more than just words of encouragement. It will take time, trust, and a willingness from both parties to truly move forward. Despite these difficulties, Anne's involvement has introduced a new dynamic into the situation. Unlike previous attempts at reconciliation, which often felt orchestrated or forced, her role as a mediator suggests a more grounded and practical approach. Whether or not she succeeds, her willingness to intervene highlights her deep commitment to the monarchy and her understanding that, without unity, the royal family's future may be at risk. As the world watches to see if her efforts bear fruit, one thing is clear: Princess Anne's steady influence may be the best hope for repairing the most significant royal rift in recent history. For years, tensions within the British royal family have been simmering beneath the surface, but recent events have intensified the divide like never before. What was once a private family dispute has now evolved into a global spectacle, fueled by leaked documents, insider reports, and an ongoing war of words between Prince Harry and the rest of the royal establishment. While past conflicts have largely played out in carefully managed public appearances and discreet statements, the latest revelations suggest that the stakes are higher than ever, leaving the monarchy in a precarious position. At the heart of the controversy is a rumored leaked document that reportedly contains damaging information about the inner workings of the royal family. While the full contents remain undisclosed, insiders claim that the document could have serious implications for Buckingham Palace, potentially exposing internal conflicts, strategic discussions about the monarchy's future, and even personal grievances that were never meant to see the light of day. The mere existence of such a document has sent shockwaves through royal circles, with many wondering who had access to this information and what the consequences might be if it were fully revealed. Compounding the uncertainty is the fact that tensions between Prince Harry and Prince William have only grown deeper. Once inseparable, the brothers now find themselves on opposite sides of a widening rift, driven by years of unspoken resentment and public accusations. Harry's candid revelations in his memoir Spare and his various interviews have painted a picture of an institution that, in his view, prioritized duty and tradition over personal well-being. William, meanwhile, has remained largely silent, opting to preserve the dignity of the monarchy rather than engage in a public feud. However, sources close to the palace suggest that William's frustration has been building for some time, with private conversations indicating that he feels betrayed by his brother's actions. The involvement of Princess Anne in these matters has further fueled speculation about the severity of the crisis. Known for her pragmatism and discretion, Anne has traditionally stayed away from public family disputes. Yet, her recent willingness to engage suggests that the situation has reached a critical point. Her role in encouraging reconciliation between the brothers may be an attempt to prevent further damaging revelations from emerging, especially if the rumored document contains information that could alter public perception of the monarchy. Adding another layer of complexity is King Charles III's delicate position. As monarch, he must navigate the fine line between personal grievances and the long-term stability of the institution he leads. While Charles has expressed a desire to modernize the monarchy, his efforts are constantly overshadowed by the family drama unfolding in real time. The potential fallout from further leaks or public statements from Harry could derail his vision for the future, forcing him into a position where he may have to choose between personal reconciliation and protecting the royal family's image. One of the most pressing questions surrounding this situation is the identity of those responsible for the leaked information. Was this an internal breach, the result of a disgruntled former aide, or a deliberate move by someone seeking to influence the ongoing conflict? The answer remains unclear, but the implications are serious. If additional private discussions are made public, it could deepen the existing divides, making reconciliation between Harry and the rest of the family even more unlikely. Despite the turmoil, one thing is certain: the British royal family is at a crossroads. The growing tensions and potential leaks present a formidable challenge, threatening the monarchy's carefully curated image and raising doubts about its ability to maintain unity. Whether this crisis leads to meaningful change or further division remains to be seen, but for now, the world watches as one of history's most enduring institutions struggles to contain the fractures within its walls. King Charles III has long envisioned a modernized monarchy, one that adapts to the realities of the 21st century, while preserving the traditions that have defined the British royal family for centuries. Since ascending the throne, he has faced the challenge of maintaining the institution's relevance in a rapidly changing world, where public scrutiny is more intense than ever, and questions about the monarchy's role continue to grow. His approach to modernization is not just about optics, it is a calculated effort to reshape the royal family into a streamlined, cost-effective, and more transparent entity. However, these efforts have not come without resistance, both from within the palace walls and from the public. One of Charles's most significant goals has been to create a slimmed-down monarchy. Unlike the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, which included a large working royal family, Charles is determined to focus the institution on a core group of senior royals, ensuring that only those directly involved in state duties receive public funding and official responsibilities. This move is aimed at reducing the financial burden on taxpayers while reinforcing the monarchy's accountability. However, this decision has also led to tensions, particularly among extended family members who now find their roles diminished or completely removed from royal duties. His modernization efforts extend beyond restructuring the monarchy. Charles is also focused on redefining the royal family's public image. In an era where social media and instant communication dominate, he recognizes the need for a more accessible and relatable monarchy. Unlike his mother, who maintained a strict level of formality, Charles has attempted to engage with the public in a more direct and personal way. His increased visibility at community events, emphasis on environmental activism, and support for progressive causes are all part of this effort to connect with a younger, more diverse audience. At the same time, Charles faces the challenge of preserving the monarchy's prestige while adapting to shifting societal attitudes. One of the key issues he must address is the ongoing criticism of the royal family's colonial past and its historical ties to empire. Calls for reparations and apologies from former British colonies have put the monarchy in an uncomfortable position, forcing Charles to navigate delicate diplomatic waters. His speeches and engagements often include references to inclusivity, diversity, and reconciliation, reflecting his awareness of these growing concerns. However, whether his approach will be enough to satisfy critics remains uncertain. Another major test of Charles's modernization agenda is his ability to manage the internal conflicts within his own family. The ongoing rift between Prince Harry and the rest of the royal family threatens to overshadow his vision for the monarchy's future. While he has reportedly made efforts to keep communication open with Harry, the repeated public disclosures from his son have complicated matters. Charles understands that a fractured royal family weakens the institution's stability, but whether he can successfully mend these relationships without compromising his leadership remains to be seen. His handling of the transition of power has also been closely watched. Unlike Queen Elizabeth, who enjoyed widespread admiration and a long reign that provided stability, Charles must work to establish himself as a respected and unifying figure. His coronation was marked by both celebration and protests, a reflection of the divided opinions surrounding his rule. The presence of Republican movements in the UK and Commonwealth nations presents another challenge, with some questioning whether the monarchy should continue at all. Charles's ability to modernize will be crucial in determining whether he can maintain support for the institution, or if his reign will be remembered as the beginning of its decline. Despite these challenges, Charles remains committed to his vision of a monarchy that evolves with the times. His focus on sustainability, innovation, and social responsibility signals a shift toward a more engaged and progressive royal family. However, the road ahead is uncertain. While he has taken significant steps toward modernization, he must also contend with deep-seated traditions, internal resistance, and a rapidly changing world. Whether his efforts will secure the monarchy's future or expose its vulnerabilities remains an open question, one that will be answered in the years to come. Prince Harry's willingness to openly discuss his experiences within the royal family has been one of the most polarizing aspects of recent royal history. His revelations, shared through high-profile interviews, his memoir Spare, and the Netflix docuseries Harry Meghan, have painted a complex and often painful portrait of his life behind palace walls. While some have praised his honesty and his efforts to shed light on the pressures of royal duty, others, particularly within the royal family, see his disclosures as a betrayal that has only deepened existing divisions. The consequences of his continued openness have been profound, not only for his relationship with his family but also for the monarchy's public image. One of the most significant impacts of Harry's revelations is the strain they have placed on his relationship with Prince William. His accounts of sibling rivalry, claims of feeling overshadowed, and allegations of physical altercations between them have only widened the rift. William's steadfast silence on these matters speaks volumes, as he has refused to publicly address the accusations, likely to avoid further fueling the controversy. However, behind closed doors, sources suggest that his frustration and disappointment run deep, making any reconciliation difficult. Harry's criticisms of the institution itself have also had lasting consequences. His allegations of a lack of emotional support, issues of unconscious bias, and claims that the palace prioritized public perception over personal well-being have challenged the carefully maintained royal narrative. These statements have forced the monarchy to reevaluate its approach to public relations, as each new revelation risks damaging its reputation further. King Charles, despite maintaining a diplomatic stance, is reportedly growing increasingly wary of his son's ongoing disclosures, as they threaten to overshadow his efforts to modernize the institution. Beyond his personal grievances, Harry's revelations have also reignited debates about the future of the monarchy. His candid discussions about mental health, media intrusion, and the pressures of royal life have resonated with younger generations, some of whom now question the monarchy's role in contemporary society. While the royal family has survived scandals in the past, Harry's willingness to continuously share his perspective ensures that the conversation about the monarchy's relevance remains ongoing. Despite the fallout, Harry shows no signs of stepping away from the public eye. Reports of a potential follow-up book and future media projects suggest that he is not done telling his side of the story. For the royal family, this poses an ongoing challenge. Each new revelation risks reopening old wounds and further complicating efforts toward reconciliation. The monarchy's strategy so far has been to remain silent, but as Harry continues to speak, the question remains, how much longer can they afford to ignore him? The future of the British royal family stands at a crossroads, with unresolved tensions and emerging conflicts threatening to shape the monarchy's next chapter. While recent gestures, such as King Charles III and Prince William publicly acknowledging Prince Harry's birthday, suggest an attempt at reconciliation, deep fractures remain beneath the surface. The question now is whether these efforts will lead to genuine healing, or if new conflicts will push the family even further apart. One of the most pressing concerns is the growing speculation surrounding a potential follow-up book by Prince Harry. His memoir Spare already sent shockwaves through the monarchy, revealing deeply personal grievances and internal struggles. If he chooses to publish another book, it could bring even more damaging revelations, reopening wounds that the family has only just begun to manage. Prince William, who has remained silent on past accusations, is reportedly growing frustrated with the ongoing public scrutiny. Any new disclosures could deepen his distrust, making reconciliation even more unlikely. Meanwhile, King Charles faces increasing pressure to secure the monarchy's stability amid these uncertainties. His efforts to modernize the institution are already met with resistance from both within the palace and from critics who question the monarchy's relevance. If the rift between his sons remains unresolved, it could overshadow his reign, leaving a legacy of division rather than progress. Additionally, whispers of broader institutional reforms have raised concerns among some royal insiders, who fear that major changes could weaken the monarchy's traditional foundations. Beyond the family's internal struggles, external challenges continue to mount. Public support for the monarchy is shifting, particularly among younger generations who question its role in a modern society. The ongoing conflict between Harry and the palace only fuels these debates, giving critics more reason to call for change. As the world watches closely, every move made by the royals is analyzed and scrutinized, making it difficult for them to move forward without controversy. For now, the future remains uncertain. The royal family's next steps will determine whether they can overcome their divisions, or if they are destined to remain fractured. While some hope for reconciliation, the reality is far more complex. Trust has been broken, and mending these relationships will require more than just symbolic gestures. With rumors of further revelations and power struggles on the horizon, the royal family must prepare for a future where unity is no longer guaranteed.